All right, welcome back. It is still VOP this morning right here on Voice of the People Television, and we are getting into the second conversation. But of course, like we always say, you have more than a voice with us, and the best way to do that is to go straight to the comment section on all of our social media platforms, including YouTube, and let your voice be heard there, and we definitely will be reading that out right here on the show. Let's get to the second topic immediately. Well, just like you rightly heard before the break, Sam Amadi, director of the Abuja School of Social and Political Thought, stated that Nigerians have no future with corrupt leaders. He highlighted that Nigeria purchased drones for $150 million each, while their actual cost is $5 million, contributing it to the country's inability to defeat insecurity. Amadi, a former executive chairman of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, emphasized that voting for corrupt politicians as presidents and governors is deceitful. Well, interestingly, we still have with us in the studio Barrister Darlington Agunmo and, of course, Mr. Chukwuma Okoro joining us virtually. Now, Mr. Chukwuma, I'm going to come to you almost immediately. This statement by Sam Amadi, what do you make of it? And what is the implication of this revelation as concerning this present administration that is saying that they want to cut down on expensive governance?
It's it's so frustrating discussing Nigeria. You see, when Moses asked a question before, and I said, if there's any superlative worse than wicked, we could use that to describe our leaders. What Sam Amadi has said is just one isolated instance, just one. Drones valued at $5 million are purchased for $150 million. I don't have a calculator. I have just calculated $145 million times 1,400 naira. If the small calculator I have is able to absorb that figure, then I'll turn it to a good one. See, David, it's very disheartening. Like I said, it's an isolated case. There are so many others that we do not even know. And this is a country that is borrowing money, 24 trillion naira, and we cannot account for it. The roads are dilapidated, the hospitals are not functional, schools are not functional. Nothing is happening, nothing is going on. We have the worst infrastructure. And if you mention 5 biggest economies in Africa, South Africa, Egypt, Egypt, Morocco, and all of that, we have the worst. You can't even compare us with small countries like Seychelles, small countries like Botswana, small countries like Rwanda. Rwanda has been for more than 40 years up until the genocide. And they have a leader who has come back to turn around everything. And the place is about, Kigali is reputed to be one of the cleanest cities in Africa.
Well, it's interesting that you did ask for a calculation, and I just wrote that up, and we have for $145 million, that's about 239 billion naira
for one drone.
For one drone.
Well,
and of course, particularly,
I have another figure here because I had to do the calculation quickly. What I have here is 233,557,500,000 naira as of recently. That's at the rate of one drone. 1,000.
Interestingly, I used the present. I used the present exchange rate from Banga. That's about 1,650 thereabout. But here's my question. That drone was purchased for security reasons. And as it stands, we still have in government the security chiefs from the past 1 year. The present administration has given them votes of confidence. The Minister of State for Defense, I'm talking about Matawali, did say to his own predecessor, his successor, the one that came after him, in government that you should toe the line, or that I told when I was in power, which means negotiating with bandits. All of this, is this administration really, really determined in any way to fight insecurity in Nigeria?
David, it's very clear. It's very clear that this present administration is not interested in fighting insecurity. But we should not be surprised, because the current president, when he assumed, before he assumed office, he told you that he was going to continue from where Buhari stopped. So I would be surprised that anybody is surprised.
So Nigeria shouldn't be expecting any. So Nigeria shouldn't be expecting any magic as concerning security when it comes to this administration. That's what you're saying.
No, David, I am surprised that I will be surprised that anybody is surprised about what is happening, because the president said it, and like you just asked now, you just forget it, because nothing on ground, nothing on the table points to the fact that this present government is interested in fighting insecurity. What have they done? Please, if you, I don't know if you know what they have done to fight insecurity, just tell me, because I can't find any. So it is very clear that this present government is a continuation of the former government. Buhari made he didn't make any fuss about it. When people were killed in the Middle Belt, he was busy convening APC meeting, holding parties with some delegates, APC delegates, where about 40 people had been murdered in a country that he was ruling, a country that he swore an oath to protect every citizen. Does it happen elsewhere?
Right.
It doesn't happen elsewhere. Well, as we speak, killings are still going on. IDP camps are raided. People that have been displaced from their homes, the government now settles them in an IDP camp. The same people that chase them away from their homes go back to those IDP camps, chase them away, kidnap some, take some, kidnap people, men and women, little girls, marry them off.
Okay.
And the government is making pronouncements on TV and radio and newspaper.
So further points
issuing orders to security agencies to apprehend them. These same security agencies are very quick to tell you the sponsors of a protest, peaceful protest organized by Nigeria.
Well, as it stands now, it doesn't seem like this is just resting on the leader. It's not just on the president. How about the lawmakers, our senators? Let me take you back a few days, actually. This is from the 3rd of July, as published by the dailies, and some of us watched the plenary session, where senators rejected proposal to limit security funds for military projects. Now, the story, if you watched that one, where the prayer was made, and then the Senate President asked if the prayer should be approved, and the nays had their way. Now, senators rejected prayer seeking to stop service chiefs from diverting funds meant for purchasing security equipment to building universities and purchasing yachts. Now, this came to the fore while lawmakers were contributing to the motion on the suicide attacks in Gwoza, Borno State. This is from the papers. I had to pick this one out from the Punch newspaper, actually, as published. And if you remember watching that session there, we saw the reaction. In fact, I saw the reaction on the face of the Senate President. He seemed surprised when the voices of the nays were louder. Barrister,
yes.
How do you react to that before I come back to Mr. Okoro?
They are surprised they rejected because if you check the budget, the military had the largest chunk. Yet they are not producing a result. Go and check.
Security vote.
Yes, security. Since Buhari's era, the military have been having largest chunk of our money in the budget. Yet no result. So those monies, where are they? That is why the National Assembly...
Is this now in connivance with the National Assembly members?
It may not be far from it, though, because I remember, listen very well, though, when Borotai left, The man who took over for him, I think Bafara was so, the guy that died in a plane crash in Zaria. They invited him to question him that the money they gave him for the military to buy equipment and all that, they didn't see the equipment, they didn't see the money. The man was livid with anger. He said, what? I just entered office, so why are you taxing me? Why not go and borrow tie? Was it not the person you people gave money? Why did you call me for this type of... The man blasted all of them at that place and walked away. He was the man who was very, very straightforward in fighting this insecurity. The few weeks or months he was there, everybody saw the reaction, the result. But what happened? Mostly, what happened to that man? You saw how he died mysteriously. With all the cream of his boys who came out to do the work. What happened to them? They died mysteriously in a plane crash. Till today, no investigation came out. So that will tell you that there is something that is going on. People are making money from this insecurity, cure ED. They don't want it to end. If it ends, where will they get their money? It's like this oil theft we are talking about. Yeah. If you end it, where will the money come from? So it is better for them to be feeding fat from you and I. Yes, selfish reason. Money that would have used to service the entire country. Few people came together in a room and shared it.
Now, Barrister, you did mention earlier that insecurity is being linked to the fact that some persons in government are benefiting from it.
Yes.
Now, Sam Amadi did make this particular statement following the call for the End Bad Governance protest. And interestingly, the DSS have come out to say that they know people who are sponsoring these protests. In fact, they went further by saying that they are warning them. That's the DSS now. Interestingly as well, the Oro Festival in the city of Lagos have been earmarked for the first 15 days in the month of August. Now, all of these are following a particular proceeding, which is trying to stop the protest from happening. Is there any possibility that both the meetings from the federal government and some of these measures being taken by agencies of the federal government, would it in any way affect these protests? And like some quarters have been saying, looks like this protest would not hold after all.
No,
do you share that?
No, from the soundbite I got from Showore, I think it is going to hold, because some people from the north are hell-bent, except they are going to listen to their emir. Though I know that the emir is not even happy because they have tampered with his position as the Sultan of Sokoto. They have tampered with his powers, have been withdrawn, gradually withdrawn from him. So they are not even happy. They are just saying this just for photo shoots. If not, they are not happy. Okay, in Kano now, who represented Kano in that meeting? Was it Sanusi or Bayero? Who caused the problem in that place? Was it not the same federal government that invited them? So the traditional leaders are not even happy. Their position and power has been whittled down. That's what I was telling them yesterday, that they should be careful, because these politicians, they will use them and dump them. Then go and ask Amechi what happened. Shebi has left APC now. What I'm telling them is that this security agent called DSS, they are not what they are supposed to be. They are no longer secret service. These people don't dabble into unnecessary issues.
What then would you call them?
I don't know. Maybe in fact, if they can be ready to bust out, let us train them properly, because they are not doing what they're supposed to do. How can you tell me that we have a DSS? They don't know up to today the people sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria. Moses, are you not surprised? For 15 years, DSS have not been able to parade people. These are the people sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria. Even when they have the list, a foreign government have done the work and gave them the list. DSS cannot come out and parade them, arrest them wherever they are. But every time when people want to protest, you threaten them. You are warning them. Warning them for what? Are they carrying gun? No, these protests and these people that are carrying gun and killing people, which one is worse? They should be very careful. Look, if they suppress Nigeria from expressing their views and all that, they will go underground. They will go underground, and that will be worse for everybody. So all this noise about a downhill protest, how did the APC come to power? Was it not through protest? Please, was it not through protest? Till Jonathan left office, APC never believed in him. Even his picture was not hung in their office. Buhari never attended the Star Council of State meeting under Jonathan. He did not. But he was collecting his allowances from Jonathan. He was collecting his money. Even Jonathan protected him when they wanted to bomb his entourage somewhere in the north. But Jonathan gave them cover. So if you ask me, it was PDP that even groomed brought APC to life because they gave them all the privilege to do what they were doing. Something APC wouldn't have tolerated. Now, let me ask you, Nigerians should tell me, if APC were to be in government, I mean in opposition, and PDP was doing this under their 9 years, Nigeria is like this, will APC tolerate it? Please, somebody should tell me, because all of us know what APC represents and what they stand and how they behave. Will they tolerate it?
But aren't they all the same? We're having politicians cross from one place to another. Aren't they all the same?
Even
just the other day, Pius Ayim just moved to the APC.
APC, fine. Please, from what we have seen now, from the 16 years of PDP and 9 years of APC, PDP was a sent in office. Quote me.
By your session.
They were sent in office. It wasn't like this now.
Now, it's interesting you did mention this, and I'm going to come to you, Mr. Chukwuma. Some did say that Nigerians voted for these persons, and corrupt politicians, like he called them, having them in presidency and in governance is the brain of what we are experiencing. Do you think that Nigerians at this time are getting to be aware of this situation, and can they get it right in the next election?
David, the simple answer to this question is that the person that got into office, it's let me be very careful with let me choose my words carefully. The person that got into office bulldozed his way into office. Yes, he bulldozed his way into office. I am not sure that Nigerians voted him into office. But because the Supreme Court has said that, but we had underlying factors, we had underlying evidence, we had underlying facts that the elections were contrived in favor of a particular candidate. The INEC didn't do its job very well. Nigerians know the people they voted for. And even at that, the votes he got is not truly representative of the wishes and aspirations of Nigerians. If you put together the figures they allocated to the Labour Party and the PDP, it's in excess of what the APC got. So we should also be holding conversations around that aspect of our electoral democracy, like we have in other countries. Proportional representation in parliament, like in Germany. Some political parties, if you meet a certain threshold of votes, of electoral votes or parliamentary seats,
right,
you have a seat in the cabinet. You know, so it is very difficult to say that we signed an electoral act into law and Nigerians were very happy. 2022, Nigerians were very hopeful, very jubilant. Everybody said, "Okay, let's go to the boxes. You know, let's go to the polls and elect the leaders that we want." But that was not what we saw. The Supreme Court, INEC, and every other agency of government turned the electoral laws upside down to suit a particular candidate.
Now, I like the fact that you're talking. Sorry to cut you short. I like the fact that you're talking to electoral laws. Some persons have said even this protest should also be hinged to the fact that there should be some level of electoral reforms, plus independent presidential candidacy. Do you share this sentiment as well?
David, unfortunately for me, I'm not sure that the protest is going to hold at the national level. It's not going to hold.
Why do you think so?
There are already roadblocks. The government has set roadblocks here and there. And like I keep saying, because, see, our politicians know how to exploit our fault lines. And one of our major fault lines is our ethnic politics. Our politics is deeply ethnic-based. Deeply ethnic-based. Do you know why I don't believe that this protest will hold? This protest will not hold because the person at the presidency. The president is a Yoruba man. President Ahmed Bola Tinubu is a Yoruba man. And any protest that doesn't take off
from the southwest,
gather momentum in Lagos, will die, will fizzle out in a matter of 2 days. The Yoruba people will not buy into it.
But they are suffering the same blood.
What they are going to do between the 1st and the 15th.
But everybody's buying from the same market.
Go back in history. Sorry?
But everybody's buying from the same market. It's not like they're even having it better. Why do you think they would not want to align with it?
Unfortunately, that's why I said that our politics, our politicians exploit our fault lines, and our politics is deeply ethnicized. David, let's go back to our recent history.
Okay.
June 12th crisis. When did this start and spread? Was it not in Lagos? Ali must go protest. That sort of revolutionized student unionism started. It took off in Uniben, but had mass effect in Lagos. The oil subsidy protest, was it not in Lagos? In June 2023, when the NLC called for a protest against the abrupt removal of self-subsidy, what happened? Less than 24 hours, the Western region NLC pulled out of the protest and crumbled it. It won't happen. It won't happen because you know why? Because of the centrality of Lagos in Nigerian politics. Look at the last NLC strike that had a semblance of, semblance of an impact. What happened? They shut down the international airport, shut down the seaport, closed down Marina, Broad Street and Victoria Island. The bank started scampering. Federal government became very jittery. Are they able to reenact that again? Look at NSAS. NSAS started from Lagos and spread to other parts of the country. When Showore called for revolution now in Abuja, they used water cannons and dispersed everybody and nothing happened. See, this protest, if it doesn't take off in Lagos, if you try it in Enugu, if you try it in Kaduna or Kano, the federal government will simply allow you to kill yourselves. And after 2 or 3 days, you get tired. That is it.
All right.
On it.
Interesting.
Well, Nigerians are not calling for violent protests.
We truly are not.
Calling for,
yes.
Just a peaceful protest.
All right. As we coast home, we would like to have your final thoughts, just opposing it with the fact that, like you mentioned, antecedents have shown that if this protest does not have momentum from Lagos precisely, don't you also think that some states might just be a new chapter that might want to spike up this protest even much more than we imagine? As you wrap this up with your concluding thought.
The idea is this: you have to look at, you see, there are human beings, there are certain instincts that dictate the life of human beings, One of them is security, another one of them is economy. People respond more to economic instincts. The city that you are talking about, that could be a new springboard, that could provide a new springboard, what centrality does it hold in the Nigerian economy? Is it something that if you close down the city, if you shut down the city, Southeast has been locked, they have been locking down Southeast every other Monday for the past 2 or 3 years. Nigeria doesn't care. So that is it. That is it. You have to look at the centrality of that state to the Nigerian economy, how it impacts the Nigerian economy. If it doesn't, man, forget it.
Well, I would like you. Okay, before you give your closing thoughts, just a little seconds spare to the news that in Lagos we might be having Oro Festival within the period that the protest is supposed to hold, from August into the month of August, from the 1st of August to the 15th into the month of August. Oro Festival. Remember, this was also done during the 2023 elections.
Say that again.
Well,
I said, there are roadblocks here and there. This one is a cultural roadblock. It's a traditional roadblock. And so, if the Yoruba people don't come out, if Yorubas, who participate in this festival, don't come out for the protest, is it the Igbo man or the Hausa man?
Omoyele Sowore is a Yoruba man, and he has largely identified with the protest. Doesn't that give you an impression?
Where is he going to hold? Where is he going to hold? Is he going to march alone? Is Sowore going to march alone? His people will simply call him to order. Aburo, Ebo, forget this thing. We are in power. We are in government. He will just do gra show. 5 of them will do gra show, and after that, they will just disperse. We are alive.
All right, then let's get your concluding thoughts. Let's get
to what happens.
Let's go to.
I need to be proved wrong.
Okay.
You know. So my final thought is this: on the Sam Amadi issue, please, if we can't get the answer now, probably when next we convene on this morning show, $145 million times whatever figure that is our current exchange rate. That one is also shrouded in secrecy. It's opaque. You know, the government is the one controlling it. They know what they are doing. But let's forget that it's a conversation for another day. Moses, you got 200 and something billion or whatever.
Yes.
From one drone. Assuming we have bought like 3, 4, 5 drones. That's about 1 trillion naira. Please, how much is ASU? How much has ASU been asking for in the past 15 years? ASU, education. This is a sector that is vital to any country's human development index. It's about knowledge, it's about standard of living, it's about health. And education is one of them. If you don't train your people today, you regret it tomorrow. So please, let's find out how much is ASU asking for and how much in Naira terms. 5 drones, if we convert it, we'll see that we have been very, very unfair to ourselves in this country.
All right. Then.
It's unfortunate.
ASU is asking for 4 months' pay. Oh, well. Thank you very much, Mr. Chukwuma Okoro, a public affairs analyst and a journalist as well. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you, Moses.
Barrister, let's have your concluding thoughts.
Yes, the protest should hold and must hold. You know why?
Why?
That is the only way we can avoid the inevitable. Quote me. That is the only way we can avoid the inevitable. You see this privileged position that Lagos occupy, and they are messing it up. They are using it to gaslight and intimidate everybody. It may not last forever. Go and check other kingdoms that came and failed because of out of arrogance and pomposity. If you now feel that because Lagos is a metropolitan city, it was the former federal capital, all the industry, all the seaport, everything is there, therefore nothing can happen. My dear, God has a way of doing his things. People can decide to move out of your Lagos tomorrow and Lagos will become empty. That is a fact. All right. So if you are not saying that because nothing will happen in Lagos, Lagos belongs to you, we leave your Lagos for you now. You eat your Lagos. We have seen it happen in all over the world. When a particular country became too arrogant, other people said, no, you are not the owner of the world now. They came up together and said, well, to your attention, so Israel. So anybody who is now trying to mess up their tradition because of this protest, he should remember that after the protest, tradition remains. Oro festival used to be carried out in the night. All of a sudden, it has now become a daytime issue. What happened after? You mean tomorrow now you tell women don't come out in the night or we are doing no? The one you did in the daytime the other time, what happened? Was it another hero?
Interesting time.
Well, then these elders now that have destroyed this thing, they should not come tomorrow and blame non-indigenous that they have destroyed their tradition. They don't longer respect their tradition. Look at what you are doing with your tradition. Just because of what? Protest. A protest that you people carried out in Lagos here and nobody disturbed you. All of a sudden you are introducing all manner of things. Just because you feel that you own Lagos. No problem. I wish you people well.
Oh, well, that's a good place to end it this morning. Thank you so very much, Barrister, for being here. We appreciate you always. Well, thank you so very much also for being here as well, Mr. Chukwuma Okoro. And, well, we'll take a quick break right now. When we return, the rest of the conversation, particularly business, sports, and entertainment, will be up next. Stay with us.